All right, we're all set on our end, Todd.
Thank you, and good evening and welcome to the board meeting of the Plymouth Community School Board for April 7, 2020. Good to see you all virtually this evening. This will be a little bit different, I'm sure, but we'll make it work. Appreciate everybody's patience in this as we get through our meeting here. So first item on the agenda is to set the agenda. Andy, any additions or corrections?
No, there are no changes.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion then to set the agenda or accept the agenda.
This is Allie, so moved.
This is Melissa, second.
Have motion and second. Any questions? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Audience participation. Do we have any audience on the call?
Hi, this is Carol Anders.
Hey, Carol.
I would have just a couple of questions about the asbestos removal when you get to that part.
Which one, Carol? I'm sorry.
It's the asbestos removal. I'm not
sure.
looking at an agenda.
Gotcha. I'm looking for that word. I don't see that specifically on the agenda. What is that in reference to, Andy?
That's
yeah,
abatement.
3.3. Yep,
Yep.
I got it. All right, we'll move on then to the consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda a board member would like to pull out and have considered separate?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
This is Allie. Okay, second, Allie.
I think Larry made the motion, Ally second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on to our business transactions then under section 3. First item 3.1 is consider resolution 2020-6 authorizing emergency action. Andy?
Yes, this resolution provides the superintendent or designee the authority to take necessary actions in emergency situations that may have otherwise been approved by the board before those actions are taken. So this resolution lists many of the possible steps and is presented to you this evening for your approval.
We'll get it on the table then, see if there's any questions or discussion. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2020-6?
This is Melissa, so moved.
Is there a second?
This is Allie, I'll second.
Have a motion and second to approve resolution 2020-6. Any questions or discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. Move on to item 3.2, consider resolution 2020-7, ratification of superintendent's emergency actions. Andy?
Yes, this is the resolution listing those actions that I've actually taken since our initial school closure on March 13th. The list includes various school closures, the authorization of food service to continue using the summer food service program. Additionally, while teachers and administrators are under contract and working on e-learning days, as well as those that are considered waiver days, it moves several of our hourly staff to be in an on-call status, allowing them to continue remain getting paid for their typical rates and hours and days that they would have worked if school were in session. And anyone on call can and is called upon to work from home if possible or to come into work if needed. There are exceptions to this. Some of those include temporary transfers to other positions. Additionally, I do want to note it deems our maintenance and custodial staff still as essential and still reporting to work, and we appreciate the efforts they're putting in right now. It also states that our administration office and secretaries are able to work from home and come into the office as needed to their respective buildings when necessary. This also lists some of the calendar decisions that we've made up to this point in light of the various executive orders. The one that's not listed on there yet, it'll probably be on the next month, is we're still working on final details for the calendar for after May 1st. So we'll have that wrapped up in a couple of days. I'll communicate that to you and then to the public. But our goal in all of that is to meet 160 instructional day requirements as the governor's requested. Yes, you'll see some other items listed in there that maybe I would not typically or need to seek the board approval on, but I wanted them listed there just so you're aware of all the steps that we've been trying to take during this time. With that, it's presented to you this evening for your approval, please.
Thanks, Andy. You've heard the recommendation and the details of Resolution 2020-7. Is there a motion?
This is Robin, so moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Robin, second by Larry. Any questions or comments? The only comment I would make, Andy, is things have been fast and furious. Just really just want to thank you and all the administrative staff for some pretty unprecedented stuff here that you've been leading and guiding us through, keeping us informed, keeping the wheels on the bus, so to speak, and really appreciate what you were doing and all of our staff.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of adopting Resolution 2020-7, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on to 3.3, consider bids for abatement of Lincoln renovation project. Yes,
School construction projects are still listed as an exception in Governor Holcomb's executive orders. As such, we move forward with the advertisement and the opening of bids for the abatement of the current Lincoln Junior High. We received 3 bids. It's our recommendation that you approve the low bid provided by Protex Incorporated. That bid amount was for $77,882.50. The other 2 bids were for $89,440 and $116,497.
Thank you, Andy. You've heard the explanation. We have the detail of the bids. Is there a motion?
This is Melissa. I move.
This is Ally, second.
Have motion and second. Discussion or questions? Andy, the only question I have, and I should know the answer to this, but did we have an estimate going in of what we were anticipating, or how did these compare?
Yeah, the estimates we had were a little over 100,000, and so and you can kind of see the range. That was probably an average of where we thought we may land. So to see the bid come in where it did, the low bid, is something that is good when it comes to the overall budget.
Sure. I'm not familiar with Protex. Where are they from? Obviously, they must have the experience necessary, et cetera.
They do. You know, we were working with a company called Alliance who helped navigate this bid and ensured that the bidders were responsible bidders. And as I navigate here, let me find. I'll have to get back with you, Todd. I can't remember where they're out of. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
My screen is shared with the public right now, so.
Yep.
Protest.
Any other questions or comments? I'm sorry?
No, forgive me, Todd. Go ahead.
Okay. We have motion and second. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on to 3.4, consider permission to apply for grants in Indiana Adult Education Continuation Assurance Agreement. That's a mouthful.
It is, and I just listed that one separately because it falls usually within the scope of these grants. It just happened to come up a little early. So this is an annual action item for the board authorizing us to apply for the typical state and federal grants that help support a lot of our programming needs. It also gives us gives us permission to apply for other grants that may arise that meet our needs. So it's presented to you this evening for your approval, please.
This is Robin, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have motion and second. Discussion or questions? My only question here, Andy, does this cover with the recovery and FEMA money and all that, is this part of this, or is that just a separate? I don't know if those are considered grants.
Sure, it does. If they were to pop up as grants, other types of support that we may seek would require separate board approval. So those are things that we're working on separately and may have prepared for you for the next month's meeting.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We will then move on, Andy, to superintendent remarks.
Just a quick follow-up on your previous question, Todd. That company is out of Fort Wayne.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, the board met 4 weeks ago, just as everything with COVID-19 seemed to be picking up, and as you stated earlier, so much has happened since that time, and really makes it feel like a long time ago. You have been aware of the decisions that we've made to continue to support our students, our employees, and our community, while still trying to provide an opportunity to learn. I just want to thank the board for your continued support. Our office and administrative team for their leadership and work, the maintenance and custodial staff who continue to take care of the physical space of our buildings, as well as our teachers for the planning and work that they're doing with e-learning while remaining flexible and meeting the various needs of our students. And I'd also like to thank our students and our parents for their patience and understanding and partnership that they continue to demonstrate during all of this to make the best of it. All of our students are on our minds. We're especially mindful right now of our seniors who have lost out on some of the momentous experiences of their senior year. I just want the board to know that we are looking at those things, working on those things, and we'll be pulling our students in to receive their input and feedback on the things and steps that we might be able to take to not only express our gratitude to them, but also to honor their experiences and successes throughout their educational experience. So more to come on this, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. With that in mind, this is a short meeting, only covering those essential items necessary with respect to where we are with things. So I just wanted to let you know our next meeting is still scheduled for Tuesday, May 5th at 7 o'clock. I'll provide you more information later about the possible need for an executive session.
Thank you, Andy. Any questions for Andy from board? Carol, are you still our only audience? Any questions from you?
I am. I'm hanging in
there.
there.
I'm sorry. I forgot to go to you on the abatement. I apologize.
Oh, I've been ignored by many people in my day, so it's fine.
wasn't agreement, but
Your question about the estimate answered part of it, whether this was anticipated. But did they find asbestos throughout the building? And will it affect the timetable in terms of construction?
It does not affect the timetable by way of the demolition or renovation of the current building. We did and certainly anticipate it. We have had an asbestos plan that is reviewed and monitored annually by Dave Schoaf, and so
Okay.
we've known that it's there. We've been continuing to monitor it, and it's just as we touch it now, we need to make sure that we do it the right way. And so, yes, it was anticipated, and we'll take care of it the right way.
And I apologize, I did not get the second and third bids. One was for $89,000.
Sure. Carol, I can email those to you if that would be
Okay.
more helpful.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yep.
thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Come back to the board. Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Mrs. Alley, so moved.
Second.
We have motion and second. Before we take a vote and close the meeting, Andy, I forgot to ask you before, how do we, with resolutions and claims, et cetera, how are we handling, or do you want to handle getting signatures?
Yeah, we have been in communication with State Board of Accounts, and we think there's ways for us to just get those digitally for those who can handle it that way. And if we need anybody to come in and sign things, then we'll reach out and make sure that we offer the opportunity to do that safely. So.
Okay, and I was just going to offer if, I'm able to sign from here and email it back.
Right.
But if you need an original, I'm also able to stop in. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Andy, do you need us to hang on the call, or?
I do not. No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you all. All right, have a good evening. Thank you.
Thanks.
See you later.
Bob.
Good night.